Alright, so last week we talked about the upcoming Season 6 reworks, and in that video I went over both Orochi's and Peacekeeper's rework, and if you watched it, you know that I thought that Peacekeeper's rework felt more like an adjustment rather than a full-blown rework, and for the most part I feel the same way. But I completely understand why Yubi decided that this was the route that we're going to take for Season 6. Now, I saw a lot of you in the comments saying that this was barely a rework and that she had barely been nerfed and all that, but honestly, I think the reworks did just enough to keep Peacekeeper in a place where she can hold her own against every hero in the game without being too powerful. They focused on all of her annoying issues that made her so good and toned them down. So first they toned down her damage, which as we all know was needed. She was just too powerful for what her playstyle is supposed to be, and I think these damage nerfs are pretty significant. Her heavy opener damage was knocked down from 33 damage to 20, her light opener went down from 17 to 13, and the zone attack's first hit went from doing 20 damage to 15. And while on paper these sound like pretty soft changes, this really increases the time it takes for her to kill an opponent. Along with that, they nerfed her dodge distance on top of the universal back dodge nerfs. So now her back dodge is the same as everyone else's, and now her side dodges will be slowed down from 500 milliseconds to 600. This will really help alleviate those headaches from Peacekeepers who would just run away from all dangers with her quick dodges. And finally, they improved her dagger cancel. To me, in its current state, dagger cancel is pretty useless since it's just a soft feint that comes from the same direction as a heavy. In Season 6, the dagger cancel will be similar to Raider's stunning tap, always coming from the top. And that's basically her entire rework other than, the heavy finisher cancel, which basically means she'll be able to dodge or guard break out of a heavy finisher, and they're going to have her bleed stack. As much as I would have loved to see Warden and Valkyrie get a rework, this just needed to be done sooner or later. And I think they chose to do it now since it feels like they've really been pushing competitive play. And as I've said in the past, I don't think this game has a chance of ever being truly competitive. And again, I'd love to be wrong, I just don't see it happening. Anyways, the game's getting faster, E3 is coming soon, constant contact with competitive players, genuine efforts to balance the game, and continued support over the past year. I really like that they're still putting so much effort into For Honor. Peacekeeper to me was the best hero in the game because of the way she could turtle and run away. And with that gone, the game will be in a better state. With her out of the top spot, I think the best hero in the game title belongs to Berserker now. And you could make the argument that Conqueror deserves to be in the discussion too. But with that, I feel that the gap between a hero at the top like Berserker and a hero in the middle of the pack like Warlord is much smaller than before. And of course, we'll never ever have perfect balance because we want all the heroes to have their own identity and have different playstyles. But making the gap between the best hero in the game and the worst hero in the game as small as possible while keeping the game fun is the goal. Nerfing Peacekeeper will also make watching For Honor at higher levels of play much more enjoyable too. Of course, Peacekeeper will still be picked because of her zone and speed, but she'll have a more aggressive and fun to watch playstyle. And of course, not as many people will pick her. People want to see a variety of heroes get used to the best of their ability by the best players around. And you can't really see that or enjoy watching that when you're watching two Peacekeepers zoning and dodging until someone dies. And I know a lot of you guys were talking about the zone, still being 400 milliseconds, but honestly, this is just something we're going to keep getting. In Season 6, 4 heroes will have 400 millisecond attacks, and honestly, they're not too bad to deal with on PC. On console, it doesn't really matter how good you are, you're going to get hit by some of those, and I think they keep them in the game, not as guaranteed damage, but more as an attack to pressure your opponent, where you won't get parried for throwing it out. And one last thing, the second part of her zone attack can be soft feinted into the dagger cancel. Personally, not a fan of this. I understand it gives her zone more utility, but I'm still not a fan of fast zone attacks. I'm used to them and all, but I wish they were used more for clearing zones or fighting multiple opponents, rather than being more of a 1v1 attack. Anyways, that's all I got for this video. I just wanted to talk about Peacekeeper for a little bit since we are just a couple days away from Season 6. As always, I want to hear your opinion on this, so talk to me down in the comments and tell me how you feel about Peacekeepers Rework. And if you agree with me or just like the video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you're new, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.